You have a bright idea on what you want to realize. You are the owner of a startup, proud owner of a startup. You may get going already with a small and medium or small enterprise, a small venture. Well, you have no idea what intellectual property is. You think that is something which has to do with paperwork, government agencies, is boring, and you have to fees and so on. Well, from the office to be done, that is not important. Well, I tell you that it may save your company. Does that sound interesting to you? Well, I'm here with my friend Max, the little horse here, in order to give you some advice, not as an IP lawyer. I am IP lawyer, but not as an IP lawyer. I want you to be in the driving seat of IP, although you are not specialist at all of IP. And I will do this within the next, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, in order to get you to the level where you can talk to the lawyer if it is necessary, and at the moment where it is necessary, and with a clear idea where you want to go, and without being the lawyer, the one who says, well, I will do that, and I will bill you that, and I will bill you the other. That's not funny, right? You want to have a certain control about it, and namely to control about your business. That is the important thing. The intellectual property that goes along, but you are concerned about your business, and I will give you some clues what has this to do with IP. Are you interested? Are you in? Yes. Okay. Let's get started. But first, I want to congratulate you because you have done action, have taken action. 60% of the population is just in the life for watching. Watching, perhaps some criticizing, but that is their main purpose in life. Others, 35% or so, are those by saying, I can do this better. I promise I will do that. I will do this, I will do that. And guess at the end, what are they doing? Nothing. They are doing nothing. And then you have the 5% of those who take action, who have a vision, but they go over the brink. They go the last step. Well, I take action. I will do something. And that's a good thing. That is which moves the world forward. And you may not know it, but you don't do this in order to reap benefit. Perhaps a bit. But at the end, and shift your mind, you do this in order to get to the people a service they need. You do a service to the community. And you get your financial freedom on the way. But it makes sales effort more important, more easier. You give a service to the community, to the people, what they need. You help them. At the end, you help them. That's what you want, right? You want to be accepted, and in order to be accepted, you help them to solve any problem. So you get a vision and you took action. Let me tell you a secret. What is the potentially most wealthiest place in the world? Dubai? London? New York? I will tell you a secret. It is the graveyard. Yes, it is the graveyard. Because at the graveyard there are all the big projects which have not been realized, the books which have not been written, the plans which have not been accomplished, the promises which have been left promises. So you take the step, and the action, that is the difference which makes you with regard to the reminding of humanity. And another thing, people will talk you out of your project, of your vision. They will say, no, don't do this. You will get embarrassed. You will fail. You will be somebody looked at as a loser, a failure. What will be you write in your curriculum? No, that is not. They may not even have the bad intention to talk you out of that project. No, they may have all the good intentions to don't see you in an embarrassed situation. But guess what? You see something the others, they don't see. So they try to talk you out of a project which they don't understand. So it is normal what they will do. So you have to see this under this angle. You're convinced, you're committed, you have burned the bridges behind you, and you will go forward. You will be resourceful in solving the problems which surely will come along the way. Now let's get to different situations. You have a bright idea, but you don't have still done something important step in order to realization. But the first thing you would think of, what, you are 20 years old, 25 years old, is an internet name, right? A domain name with a prefix and a suffix. You know, there are different suffix. If you have one prefix, you may have different suffix, which may pop up if you put the prefix, which you normally would do in Google. Then all the suffix with that same name will pop up. So you want to have a domain name first, perhaps with different suffix according to countries, I don't know. But a domain name, you can apply for it and you have it, right? But the domain, that's already the first IP right. You get in contact now with IP. Now we have a company name as well, and or project name, and we have a brand name, perhaps of the service you want to deliver, or the product, or you may have even a patent in your mind, an invention, which can result into a patent afterwards. Now, the domain name, the company name, and the brand, they should be all more or less the same. Meaning that you don't want to confuse the customers, right? You don't want. You want to keep it simple. You want to reach out to the customer with one name, one brand. If you take 5, 6, 7 brands, you diversify, yes, but it will not help your business very much. There's so much out there in information. Keep it simple, and that is what you want to do. So, in order to get the right name, which will not get you in trouble afterwards, because you maybe have that name, company name, domain name, etc., and you're getting along, you're 5 years within the venture of within your endeavor, so to say, and then you get a letter by saying, well, you cannot use the name. So what are you left with? You're left with nothing. You're left with 0 again, and you have to start all over again. You want to avoid this, right? So you don't need to go to the lawyer necessarily in order to, you can go, but you will be fix a heavy bill. But you can go to, what is it, European Intellectual Property Office database, where the whole world on trademarks and designs is in, and you can, there's an easy search module where you can easily find, you type in what your projected name is, and you see all of those which are already registered as trademarks with regard to that name in whatever country it is. It is a worldwide repository of trademark names. You can go to the WIPO, WIPO, which is in Geneva, which has a database like that, and you can look easily and identify easily what is being taken and what is not being taken. That takes you 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours perhaps, and you're done. And you have one obstacle less in the future. Now, you want to think of the ownership of this. You are three guys, a bunch of guys or girls, and you want to start over with a startup. So who is the owner of the domain name, who is the owner of the company name, and who is the owner of the brand? Well, in principle, you don't care in the beginning, but should you care? That is the question I will ask you. Should you care? Well, in the beginning, your friends, everything is smooth, but this is not necessarily a guarantee that the future will be as bright as well within your relationship. So if one says at a certain moment it goes sour and I have a different vision, I will go the other way, and you will not, or the other group of people where you are will not, well, you might get into the problem when the ownership is the one. Ownership of the brand is the one who has it, and you don't have a company already established, a judicial company where you can register with. So you have it in the name already, or still. So this is one thing. Another thing is you may have a business model where you have a kind of a trade secret, something secret, but you don't want others, the competitors, they don't know it. That can be a plan, that can be a customer database, that can be a layout, that can be a process, whatever it is, a formula. Now, you want to make sure that this a trade secret is an IP right? And you want to make sure that the people get to know to the trade secret as it is necessary. You don't want anybody get access to that trade secret, right? There will not be any trade secret. So you need to have this well done on a knowledge to know basis, on the necessity to know basis. Not that everybody can do, and you need those who have access a certain agreement that they will not share this, and well, you call it an NNN agreement, which people have to sign in order, non-disclosure, this kind of things. And you want also co-workers, employees who aspire to be co-founders or partner at a certain moment and get disappointed because your project is a bit different, but they get all to know what about your business model is, and they go out in order to copy your business model and maybe more efficient, or maybe more lucky, or maybe have a better connection to whoever it is necessary, and then get a better traction than you. You want to avoid this, right? You don't want to be in that situation, no. And you can be, as a business owner, if you do this, if you have this knowledge in the beginning of what can happen, and you do your contracts in the way, or you do your discussion with the people surrounding you in a way that is clear to everybody, then you will have less problems in the future. And that's what I want you to share with. I don't want to have UIP problems in the future. Now, let us assume that you're already ongoing. You have 4 or 5 people working for you as partners, perhaps, or as co-workers, or you give them some promises for the future because you don't have much money in the beginning, right? So, and at a certain moment, you would say, I'm out of money. I have some obstacle, I had some mess to go through. It cost me more than that, than I have thought, so I need more money. I would go to whom? To a venture capitalist, to a bank, and whatever, in order to get more money. And guess what will be the first question they will ask you? Yes, you're right. What is your intellectual property? What is your moat? What is your advantage about others beside what is your business model about? What have you in mind? What will be your total addressable market in the future, etc. But what is your moat that they will ask for? And guess you have not any intellectual property. What will be the answer of them? They will say, sorry, not interested. Not interested because you have something which anybody can take and you're not protected against any attack. So why would I give you more money in order to be taken away from others? So this is one of the important issue of intellectual property with regard to funding. Or you may have a patent. I don't know. You may have a patent, but there is something missing, some invention missing in order to plug it in and make it a product. And that invention to plug in is a competitor, another different company. Not necessarily a competitor, but a different company. So you have to license that patent in order to make your product something which others may want to buy. Now, if you have a patent, it may well that the other company want your patent, and you have a mutual agreement, and then it would be possible not to have a cash flow necessary to pay license fees or so, but you can swap. You can swap, so to say, the patents. I will use yours, you will use mine, and there is no payment necessary. So these are things in the initial stage. You may think about it, right? You may think it is not that this will happen. No, you may think about it, and I want to open your mind with regard to all that. Now, you are on exhibitions, fairs. At the initial stage, at the beginning, you want to know what are the others doing. What is the contact you can establish to potential customers, to potential markets. So you expose your product or your future product in order to see what is the feedback I will get from the market. But from the IP perspective, you want also have a look around in all of the other exhibition stands where you can see what are the others doing. What are the others doing, not only in order to learn you, but what are the others doing with regard to your product. Perhaps the others may have looked at your product and the design is very fancy of your product, and they want to have the same design because it is very fancy and people can be attracted by the design. And well, you have to defend your design if you have one, your design you have one, in order to not take the other's advantage from you, from your business. Now, a different situation, you are now already 3-4 years into and you get some success, you get some traction on your business. Well, you may think of some infringement, because if you get traction, I can assure you one thing: you will get infringers, you will get those who want to free ride on your coattails with regard to the product. You did all the initial marketing, you did all the awareness of the customer of this product, etc. This is all money which you have invested in your future venture, or in that venture you're in. So you want to avoid that other people, once you get traction, they get all the money without investing all what you have invested in. So these infringement, they may happen in your, there probably you need the assistance of lawyer, but you as a businessman, you can see what the competition is doing. The lawyer does not know the competition, does not know what the others are doing. You as a businessman, you know this. And if you provide the necessary evidence for it to the lawyer, then it is much easier. But you need to have this IP department, IP compartment in your brain. You need to have this open at all times in order to support your business with regard to the possibility to defend your business. Now look at the markets, for example. Another angle from the intellectual property you as a business owner might be aware of. You have a market which is, I don't know, Africa, China, Europe, US, Slovakia, I don't know. And you focus on that. But you may have also a long-term vision where you think, well, my future market probably is the US, or is Africa, or is, I don't know, Australia, whatever it is. So there are two things which you have to take away from this. IP is territorial, meaning you have a certain region like Europe on trademark, or you have a country of Germany like patents, territorial, US, and it is first to file in the majority of the cases. First to file, the first who files is the one who got it. The second to file will have what? My horse says, a big sorry from the authorities. Nothing to do. There are others. Copyright. You don't need, the good news is you don't need to register. Copyright is an artwork. You may have an artwork, a nice design, an artwork, and which is protected as of the creation. No registry necessary. You created it, you disclose it, and then it is your copyright, and it's your copyright. Not only your copyright, it is also the copyright of your hairs, because it is valid 70 years after your death. A book, for example. Okay. Another is you would think not only of your future markets, so the markets where you want to be present in the future, you may also have in mind where the fake products or the fake services may come from. Meaning products, more products than services, but still. Because if you don't have a protection, an IP right, an enforcement tool in the country where the fake products are manufactured, you can't do anything about them in that country. You may act on them when they are in your market where you are protected, but you can do nothing about it in that origin country where it is manufactured. And you may want to have a tool, an infringement tool, at the moment where it is manufactured. So you have also, although you're not interested in that market, but you may register IP right in that market in order to have an enforcement tool and prohibit the manufacturing of the products at the origin already. You're still with me? You're still good? For the last good news I will communicate you, it is now all about protection, right? You want to protect yourself. You want to build a wall around you that nobody can attack you. That is intellectual property, but that is intellectual property in the first stage. Only in the first stage. In the last stage, but that is well into the future now, in the last stage, intellectual property is not only 70% of the assets on your balance sheet. That's what it is in majority, many company balance sheet. Coca-Cola, I don't know. Coca-Cola has a lot of installations, but the brand Coca-Cola is 70%. Well, it has more than 100 years, okay, but it is 70%. Now, it may be as well that your intellectual property become a revenue stream for you. So not only a cost factor. No, it can be the other way around. It is a revenue stream. You license out your patent, you license out your design. You can do this design if you pay me whatever amount it is with regard to the production of what you want to do. Well, a revenue stream, so it comes in. It is your main asset, may become your main asset. So is intellectual property still boring? Something to be left with the government agencies and the lawyers and the technicalities, and they deal about this and that? No, it's not boring. No, it's not boring anymore. If you are the entrepreneur with that angle, with that possibility of knowing the potential of intellectual property, then you can do it. You can do it, you can take advantage of it, and you can make it one of your main assets. I hope I gave you some insights, some help. If it is so, give me a like, give me a feedback, what you need to know more, what else is something you have some questions about, and where I can help you. If not, guntermarten.yahoo.com. That would be my email. Have a look as well as iipcc.org, where is commercialization of intellectual property. That is something we are concerned, we are obsessed about it. We want to help you to see intellectual property not only as something which is making rich some lawyers, and it is only a cost factor for the company. No, get this, you will not hear a lot about this. IP is business. Repeat with me, IP is business. Now you got it. Thank you very much.